with a GHGC 107. Ball named Melvin.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your man Melvin Taylor Jr., aka Melvin Taylor Hi, and I'm here with another video, but this time it's not specifically, well, in a way it's a reaction video, but this is more about the breaking news today, which made me very happy. Then when I hopped on Twitter and started talking some more about it, kind of presented a crazy situation. So the news in which I'm talking about is The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, is going to play John Henry, who is one of my favorite black mythology, black folklore stories of like all time, period. And well, let me start the story off by saying this. You really want to begin this conversation with maybe last week sometime, Michael B. Jordan saying that there's not any black mythology or black folklore out there. Now, while Michael B. Jordan was wrong, I think what he was trying to say, this was in a Vanity Fair article that came out about him. I'll put that down in the description for you guys. What he was trying to say, in my opinion, was that there's not enough black mythology and black folklore represented on the silver screen as much as there are other cultures. And on that point, I agree with him. That ties back into this story because, like I said before, John Henry is one of those stories. And when I first heard the news, I was extremely excited. I've already had a rough day. Had a buddy of mine, I'm not gonna say we're the closest of friends, we were very good associates, and I would call him a friend, passed away unexpectedly, and also had some other friends that have had some health issues go on too. But this news brought me immediate joy because, like I said before, John Henry's one of my favorites. One of the reasons why I wanted to be big and strong when I got older too. And The Rock playing him, Rock, as some of you guys know, my favorite actors, you know, somebody that inspires me to be able to say, hey, I can go out there and do the things that I want to do in my life and shape my perspective and put my spin on things. But with him being announced, there are a lot of people out there that have an issue with him playing a role due to the fact that John Henry, in all his tales, has been represented as a very dark-skinned man, and The Rock obviously is not dark-skinned, being half black, half Samoan. At least I think he's mostly half black, half Samoan. Well, his daddy black. I think his daddy like black. I don't know, either way. A lot of people are very upset about it. And I was trying to think exactly how I felt about it. And I would take it back to a tweet that I put up on my Twitter a couple years ago when it was like towards the end of the first season of Empire, I believe, first or second season of Empire, where I said that the oldest son there, Trey Byers is his name, I wanted Disney to redo it and say, hey man, make Trey Byers John Henry, because he's a phenomenal actor and he's somebody who could definitely do it. If not Trey, I would have been completely happy with Winston Duke in Baku from Black Panther being able to do it as well, just from the rise that he's had over the past, like, this year or so. It would be a great story for him to be able to further cement himself as an actor and show his abilities. I know he's going to be able to do that with the Jordan Peele movie that he's going to do, but it would have been another way for him to be able to do so, and who knows what could have happened with it, you know? While those would have been my first choices, ultimately, I'm happy that it's going to get made. And if it takes The Rock to be able to make it get made, I'm content with it. Now, you will have folks out there that will say, Melvin, The Rock is a big enough star where he could have produced it, and he could have made this and had another actor come in, gave another actor a shot, built this whole thing around him, and propelled him up in a way. That's a damn good point. I didn't even think about that until I read it. And on some, thank you very much. On some level, to some extent, I agree. The Rock could have done that. It probably would have been a better move of the two. But if The Rock truly had, in his tweet, in his IG post, he talked about his father singing him that song when he would be going to bed. Other kids would get bedtime stories. His father was singing him that John Henry story, that John Henry song. If The Rock truly feels that connection to this character, then honestly, I can't fault him. I think this may be slight bias because I'm such a fan of his. I can't honestly fault him for wanting to portray the character, but I can't say it would have been cool had he been able to do it that way. I'm overall, long story short, I'm just happy that this is even getting made. So the fact that it's getting made and the fact that we're gonna actually have it is enough for me to be excited about it. And while I can understand the issues that people have with it, overall I'm happy. But I will say this: if there are opportunities for him to, if there are opportunities for him to explore more folklores and more legends, and if I'm sorry, this little kid that threw me all off. If there are opportunities for him to explore more black folklore and more black mythology and more black legends through this Netflix series, then I'm 100% for it, and I'm hoping that he will then bring in other people to be able to do so, because it says John Henry and the Statesman, meaning it's going to be more than just him. So I'm 100% hoping that that is the case. If not, I'll be somewhat disappointed. Overall, I'm just happy that we even getting it. And who knows, maybe Netflix might have said, yo, we don't want to buy the property if The Rock is not playing it. That's something that could have happened as well. Now, The Rock definitely could have pushed back and been like, no, I want this to be made with a darker skinned actor, but we don't know all the negotiations that went on. All in all, I will say, slight bias because he is one of my favorite actors and one of my favorite action heroes, but I would have loved for an up-and-coming actor of some sort to be able to get that role, to further push himself out there, solidify himself as an actor, and be able to get a good look. The way I was talking to my homies about it earlier in the group chat was, yo man, The Rock just wanted his invite back to the barbecue, bro. He was like, hey man, I've been on the outside looking in a little far too long. I'm trying to get back into good graces. What's up? Type thing. Let me go ahead and play John Henry and make this happen. But, you know, I'm not going to be the person to say this is exactly how I feel and I'm always going to feel like that. If more information comes out about it, then I'm open to changing my opinion on it, because that's life. As soon as you get more information, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to intake it and say, okay, let me process this, see how I feel about it. As of right now, I'm happy the damn movie is going to get made, or a series is going to get made. So that's what I got to say about it, man. I would love to hear what y'all got to say, because I'm sure there's some people out there that feel differently, just like I'm sure there may be some people out there that feel similarly. And regardless of how you feel, I would love to hear your opinion, as this is a conversation that I would like to continue to have with you guys. Damn, man, Winston Duke would have murdered, Trey or Winston would have murdered this role, because the complexities of how well they can act. Not saying that The Rock can't act, but we know that The Rock is a lot more of a, yo, he's The Rock action star type guy, whereas Trey or Winston would have been able to come through and kill it on like a surgical level in terms of acting ability. But I guess with this type of story, that may not be what they're going for. They might just be going for like a cool action type thing, where it's gonna be John Henry and a bunch of the other folklore legends going out and doing things. So I don't know, man. All in all, I'm just happy that it's getting made. But y'all let me know what y'all think, because I would love to continue this conversation. Also, y'all, real quick, before I actually finish up the video, I got one more point that I did want to make, because I think this is important to add to why I'm looking at it the way in which I am. I think that the audience that they're looking to push this movie towards isn't specifically just the African-American demographic, clearly, because The Rock is doing it. However, I do think, one, he wants to add those aspects into it because that's where the story is naturally from. So of course you have to do it. Let me do that. There we go. That's where the story is naturally from. So of course you got to do that. But two, I think this is in a way to help introduce more people to the John Henry story, because I feel as if a lot of people would have been tuned out of it and turned out of it if another actor was put into it. Granted, if the storyline was great enough and amazing enough, eventually people would have caught on, because that's exactly what happens. But I think that out the gate, at least from The Rock's perspective, he wants as many people as possible to hear about the story of John Henry and know who he is and why he's important to the culture in a sense, and I'm speaking of black culture. Now, I could be completely wrong, but I'm hoping that's the way in which The Rock sees it, because, man, that would be an amazing way for it to be able to happen, for everybody to be able to say, hey, this is a really cool story, I want to know more about it. And then that then jump starts other people to then do this in a way. And I'm kind of jealous too, man, because honestly, I was hoping that I got to the point to where I was able to do the story, even though some people might be like, hey, Melvin, you a little too light for that. Bro, look, if I get the rights to do the John Henry movie, bro, I'm finna do the John Henry movie, period, point blank. So it is what it is. But anyway, man, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, please remember, make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, because it's a conversation I would love to have with folks. Stay blessed, stay favored, always stay tailored. I'll see y'all next video.